A few weeks ago, I was in the company of a few people. One of them was a friend of mine that had other friends present. And suddenly, an argument erupted. Well, it was a friendly argument, nothing serious. But they were arguing about religion. So I made sure to stay well away from them and focused on staring at my phone. Why? Because there's some arguments I never get involved in. First of all, I don't get in arguments about football, mostly because I know nothing about it. Then I don't get in arguments about relationships, because when they make up, you become the enemy. Politics, because everyone has a theory. Forgetting the practical change should really start with them. Then I don't get in arguments about religion, because to each man his own. What works for you may never work for me. Then suddenly one of them tapped me and said, you've been quiet. I want to know your take. What's your take on tithing? Do you think it's compulsory to tithe? And I said, no, absolutely not. It's not compulsory. I mean, it's your money. You can keep it to yourself. You should only pay tithe if you want God's blessings. It's a lot like rent. It's not compulsory. You should only pay rent when you want a roof over your head. What? Did I say something wrong? I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer. You can't talk about believing in God and still argue about things like tithe. If you really believed in the God you're talking about, then you would know that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world and all those who dwell therein. So everything belongs to God, including that money you're clutching onto. I mean, He blessed you with a job or business that gave you that money. So why is it so difficult to give it back? If I give you $50 to hold on to for me, I mean, universal currency, and for when I need it, and a few hours later, I need to take a cab or something, and I need money to take that cab, you will give me back that $50, right? Why? Because the money is mine. It's not yours to keep. It belongs to me. Let me explain. See, a long time ago, I terminated my contract with the company, and it was due to payment issues, but it was a mutual agreement. But you see, at the time, the monies I had left was just enough to cover my rent, right? But I had to leave. So a few days later, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she had heard what happened. And so we're talking. And she had a few days left of her days off from work. So she said to me, you know what, I'll come daily to come and cheer you up, because I told her after paying my rent, I had no money left or whatever it is. So we're just talking about it. So she said, okay, I'll come and cheer you up, and we can talk about other opportunities. And so the first day she came, when it was time to have lunch, it was a platter. It was like chips and prawns and fish and all sorts of things that I offered her. And I mean, she was really grateful. She was really excited and everything. So she had that. Now, the next day, it was pretty much the same thing. It was rice and steak and this and that. By the third day, she spoke up and said to me, but you're not working now. You should be saving your money. Every day we're eating all this fancy foods and all this gourmet foods and all sorts. I thought you said you had no money. Where's all this coming from? And then I said to her, I didn't even buy any of this. My mom has a spare key, and on Fridays, she comes in and she fills up the fridge. She buys the drinks, she buys this and she buys that. I just make sure to stay out of her way when she does it, and act surprised whenever I return home. And it makes her feel good. It makes her feel needed. And it's only because I'm not working at the moment. It stops as soon as I go back to work. And she said to me, why? And I said to her, because whenever I'm in employment, I make it a point of duty to send her a fraction of my income monthly. She didn't ask for it, and she doesn't need it, but it makes me feel good to do it as a sign of appreciation to her for giving me life. And that's tithe. God didn't ask for it. He certainly doesn't need it. But you give it back as a sign of appreciation for giving you all that you have, for taking care of you. Then you want to take care of the things of God in return, His people, His church, or any other place of worship. And what do they say about a grateful person? You keep receiving more. And this this concept has nothing to do with religion or what sector you belong to. It's a test of your morals. But instead, people want to question who, where, and what is being done with their monies. Like you can question the banks when you make a deposit. It doesn't concern you. However, if you're still in doubt, why not put it to test? I mean, it's the only time God says you should test him. And if you're not blessed, then it's all a scam. But if you are, now I'm not saying you will wake up and find a G-Wagon in front of your door. And whilst that's a blessing as well, don't forget that you woke up. That's the highlight. A lot of people did not. Namaste.